The grand final is a Chinese derby. It's 1-0 versus KAHO. It's the two players who had the best results in Gladiator Championship Cups this year. 1-0 is currently the best earning player of the year. He is now, since today, the #1 in the ELO ranking. Has surpassed Happy as the, on paper, best player in the world. He is the favorite. He's the guy to stop. He is the person with 16 days without dropping a single series while playing every single day. 1-0 is a grinder. 1-0 is a monster. And 1-0 is gonna be the champion if KAHO doesn't stop him. A lot of people thought Life has to be the one, Focus has to be the one, but in the end, Wonder Boy is in the final. Does he have the ability, the talent to stop 1-0? For sure. Is he ready after the little break, after the semi-final? Did he practice only his Night Elf mirror? Because that's what KAHO went through on his way into the grand final. Night Elf after Night Elf after Night Elf. First Dice, then Sini, then Moon. They all fell to KAHO. But in Warcraft 3 you need 4 amazing matchups. And not just one. 1-0 has displayed already. He's a slayer of Night Elves. Has defeated Colorful. Has defeated Life. 3-2. Then Sok was in his way as well. We joined this a little later, but you see not too much has happened except 1-0 is already level 3. Trying some pressure play into the base. And KAHO on the other side cleaning up the expansion for the level 3 Demon Hunter, who has a disgusting early game inventory. That has been a little bit of a story for KAHO in this tournament. His items were biz all the time. Boots of Keltalas, Gloves of Haste, Big Heal Potion, Illusions, Boots, Staff, really good. We have to say though, while 1-0 is undefeated, he was extremely close to being eliminated. He was down on facing elimination, went for an expo, Life Tower rushed him, and he had 3 APs up at his expo. And still 1-0 held, and that broke Life and he turned the series around. 1-0 is not invincible. He is indeed very strong though, and we have a lot of strategies here in Night Elf versus Undead at the moment. We have a lot of stuff that is changing from player matchup to player matchup. So we kind of have to identify how people are playing against each other. We have a lot of game tape of 1-0 versus Life. They played each other almost 90 times this patch. For KAHO and 1-0, there's not too much game tape, as KAHO is not playing that many show matches. Now, another great item. We go for the next one. Demon Hunter has a slot. Flute, and did he get the XP? I think so too, eh? 1-0 with some good denies, but the deny is still a kill. And that Demon Hunter is crazy. The damage is mental. The early game power spike with Dryads looking good. The denies are looking good. I think it's pretty safe to say that we're seeing high-class Warcraft right here at the 8-minute mark. Flute is amazing for some damage boost of either talents or dryads or heroes. That's all range. And the late game setup on map 1 in this best of 7 for the championship is DK, Lich, Ghoul, Fiend, and Worms. 1-0's patented strategy. I think that is his go-to strategy. There's some lovely comments in the chat. Thank you very much. KAHO is always teching a little later, reaches tier 3 later, has then to catch up and get ready for the worm. The worm push is devastating. We've seen this yesterday. We've seen this throughout the week. But this is also very predictable. You know this is coming. And you know the undead feels like he's on a timer. Oh, Unholy Aura is sick! So, in case you watched my cast the past 2 days, I say there's a new sheriff in town in terms of strategies. And while a lot of other people are talking about the worm push, I think the worm push with one worm is not that scary. Scary is the follow-up. Because for a few weeks, it was the case, like, the undead goes for the worm, push destroys, push destroys, push destroys. Now, Night Elves got better at holding this push, but the undeads figured out, hey, I can use that time, go for the disease cloud, and go for wagons. Because my problem as an undead will be the dryads. I can't attack the dryads with my magic damage and my spells, what the hell? So I gotta figure something out. Fiends were oftentimes very reliable, but fiends get electrocuted, killed by bears. So we need another layer, and that is the wagon. Siege damage helps a lot against dryads who are unarmored, and even the disease cloud is worth it. So why is now the Unholy Aura so goated? Because you get passive HP regen against passive HP degeneration. I don't know. Negative. It evens this out. On the other side, pretty golded item here for 120 as well. Nobody can really complain about that. 50 food on both sides. We're getting very, very close to the first big fights of the grand final. Oh. Worm position. 120 has sometimes some bait positions. But hey, here we go. Trying to take out the ghouls as fast as possible as they offer a lot of damage to the archer backline. It's very exposed here. Pretty atypical to not see too much attention to the bears. It's shifting now. First one dead. Ghouls also. There's a lot of freedom for the backline then. KAHO's Dryad micro seems more than okay. Ghoul's been taken out. Demon Hunter level 4. KAHO is owning this fight now. Close to 50 food. Yes, he lost a lot of bears, but he still got one. Might stack up. He still got the anti-air in terms of dryads. It's all healthy. The heroes are healthy. The heroes are well leveled. And he even kept the big heal potion. That was one hell of a fight, and I think it came a little bit too early for 120. Now, the scary, scary, scary transition. How do you stop the wagons? It must be the pro Night Elf question this week. These weeks. Dude, if you look at KAHO's inventory, that's like... Is there a single spot on the map where it didn't get best in slot? In terms of KAHO, you're going talents, okay. Talents help you with pretty much everything, but they're very nukable. We got level 2 Nova already, we got web, we got splash damage here from the heavy air. Low key, if you have a lot of time, and it seems like we have quite some time, is maybe a mountain giant the solution? I wondered the past couple of days. But hey, nobody seems sure. There is no easy answer. There is no web, that is correct. He'll probably add it in a bit. He's currently very lumber starved with only 2 ghouls here. I don't think though that you have the time for the mountain giants. I think ideally if you could like rub a magic lamp and a genie appears and he asks you what's your wish, he's like, oh, there a couple of mountain giants would be nice. But to get there is a big problem because you're under this constant threat. Lots of talents. It has always been a KAHO style. Not uncommon to see him play 12, 14 talents and not webbing weapon. This fight is disgusting. Nova is sick though. Yeah, you gotta respect that. No heal scroll. But the wagons are behind. That's apparently how you deal with it. Pushing the undead army into a kiting game, slowing him down with Naga Dryads. Web is thankfully an incredibly fast upgrade. Otherwise, 1-0 would be dead. 2 worms? Yes, 2 worms, 2 A-bombs. 2 worms, 2 wagons. 2 worms, 2 wagons is the late game army. KAHO needs heal scrolls now. There is Nova AoE. There's Disease Cloud AoE. And you need to be ready for both. So many crows. Low key. Cyclone can be very, very, very sick. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for this. They have played each other before. KAHO did get wins with Cyclone. It's a lot about positioning as well. Like, we're not playing Direct Strike, right? We're playing Warcraft 3. You gotta be in position. You gotta be safe. Demon Hunter gets a lot of attention here. Sweet Dispel for a lot of mana. But look at the Destroyer melt! Talon, so much damage. Half of them roared up. We get Web, we get Nova. Who takes the better fight here? Demon Hunter still looking good with the big potion. One bear is okay. We take care of the worms. We take care of the wagons. KAHO with an amazing fight so far, but is it enough? Lich under pressure, Fiends under pressure, Bears under pressure, everything under pressure. The first worm is down and that cleans the ground for now. Another heal scroll would be so good. More and more units falling. Who loses more? We go for the Lich now. No Frost Hour. Zap! Invo Potion. Maybe the Fork Lightning a tiny bit too late. The Crows are still up and it's all about air superiority. The DK in trouble. The Lich half dead. KAHO owns you. 1-0 for the underdog. Dude, these fights are so clean. What the hell? What the hell? Are talents indeed the answer, dude? By the way, is anybody agreeing with me now that talents make everything better? Any agreeers in the chat that talents make everything better? It's DK Demon. This will probably be the case throughout the entire series. Maybe small chances for a Warden down the road, but rarely. There we go. There we go. There we go. Slippers, huh? Slippers cow, huh? Keeps on happening. But you'd be a damn fool to reduce this matchup to items. I got a roaming acolyte here. Plus attack. Demon Hunter right there, but only one archer. You do some damage, which adds to the poison damage that you take anyway. One ghoul down. This is risky, actually. What's 120 doing here? Taking lots of damage. Was this 2 ghouls or 1? Or 3? Good body block, though. Keep the distance. I think he saved as much as he could. Maybe these 2 archers, if they show more presence, but they were under pressure by ghouls and acolytes as well. Was a hectic and chaotic situation. 2, right? Important levels. KAHO feeling confident, trying to snipe this. He saw there is no coil. So currently, how do you get the last hit? Oh, damn! He gets the Biz items again. Trades a greater heal potion for an archer. That's a trade you take every day of the week.
A player's forces are under attack.
And that's a strong Demon Hunter. On the way to level 3 again. The basis of everything. There's always a bit of a rotation. It's a bit map dependent. It's a bit player dependent. Do you start with immolation? Do you start with mana burn? Do you go evasion? That's another set of like moving decisions that you have to do. I feel like this matchup in Human vs. Night Elf is by far the most interesting, by far the most rewarding, by far the most flexible. 7 months into a patch. There's no meta. There's a lot of options. And there's a lot of developments. What's not developing here is that 120 is not going for Naga battles. Oh my god. The frost arrow wasn't up. But he gets 1 ghoul. Can he reach? 120 can. Very, very, very desperate situation here. The DK has no TP. He might just die. The Naga doesn't have boots, but the Demon Hunter does. Chasing. Hitting. No! Immolation is not enough. Bro, if 120 saves these units here, he might be able to take this fight. But KAHO is firing on all cylinders. DK flirting with death. So many ghoul kills early game. It is like yesterday. 120 is getting owned on the first 2 maps. This was the case versus Life as well. I feel like if he passes the boots to the Naga, man, is there more possible even? So far, this grand final is outstanding KAHO craft. You had, like, 120 has been in grand finals so many times. Offline, online, whatever. For KAHO, that's not too common. In a $7,500 tournament, not too common. In the GCC tournaments, he has performed really well. But those were round robin groups, where map wins counts.
Players' forces are under attack.
Consolidating 120, it seems like. So far, recovery, but his strong push is coming. With the worm. Very similar setup to what we've seen before. Extremely disruptive early game by KAHO. Sniping both consumables by KAHO. But one fight, one Coil Nova. You always have to keep in mind, one Coil Nova can change it all. And now we contest the reds. KAHO shall not allow this, of course. Biggest consumable on the map here at this turtle.
Players' forces are under attack.
Naga is already level 3. That is crazy. And the Demon Hunter is alone to check this creep spot. One base is the play. Calm before the storm. I think 1-0 waiting for the worm.
A player's forces are under
And then
attack.
how does KAHO deal with that without crows? Heavy on dryads. Only 2 bears. It's a care bear, roar, reju, little bit of normal damage. But dryads are the backbone. Archers are the backbone. Because 1-0 lost so many ghouls early, the firepower is not going to be too high. This is the 10-minute push. All right. Do we get the turtle? Yes, 1-0 did. Mana Stone as well. And here's the worm. Very stressful situation. 1-0 did a lot to create this game state. And KAHO's breaking upkeep right away. Always the question, do I want to stall? Do I want to bank in no upkeep? Now, how do you deal with the big blue dragon? Ghouls in the backline. Super sick split by KAHO. Can't save both of the dryads. That would have been amazing. The split will then result in kills. There's a bit of healing. The bears are getting wrecked now. And one dryad after the next. There's too many fiends still on the field. Too much damage. 1-0. This is why so many people were so scared of his dragon push. And KAHO has to lick a lot of wounds. It's still 48-48. New bears coming. Another archer falling. Anti-air is getting fewer and fewer. Only 6 units left. Very few consumables. Level 2 Fork Lightning. I love that we always get this level of mana shield now. As an extra layer of protection. This was the last fight without orb. Now we got orb. And the mana pot for Fork Lightning. And the heal pot for the Demon Hunter. And maybe a little bit of false security here as the fight went so well for 1-0. But the orb changes everything. The most important piece of your late game. Taking the fight without it is kind of crazy actually. Now we got the orb. Spread the poison. I have to say, not a big fan of these worm positions today by 1-0. Pretty much in the middle of it all. Not close to trees as they should be. Second red spot contesting this. Heal wards. Okay. Fiend trying to save himself into the ground. There is dust. There is reveal. Little bit of nuke. Destroyer still in. This is still a big weapon against these bears, and you need to keep the ground safe. Worm. This looks amazing, but not part of the fight anymore. 1-0. It's not looking good anymore here. Lich in trouble. Is there a Fork Lightning? Wasn't it available? Maybe not enough damage. Probably not enough damage. This worm hanging on by a thread. Destroyer killed. Back at 50. Talents are coming.
Forces are under attack.
This is again a little bit misleading. 1-0 can't fight. 10 food. Basically dead. Rest of the army goes to KAHO. He stays on the map close to the shop. Demon Hunter annoying. And just a little bit of damage. DK close to 5. This was the last fight without crows. 1-0 has prepared his own transition into wagons.
A player's forces are under attack.
Welcome to the late game. Always the Demon Hunter. Always the poison. We are getting level 5 here, though. The one remaining... No, it's not! It's not level 5. Big supply push now. KAHO doesn't have the resources to follow this up. Only if he sells items. Holding on to that mana potion. Number one candidate would be selling the mana potion. If 120 brings the fight to KAHO, I think the Moonwells can carry for a while. Staff used. 120 going for what? Moonwells filled to the freaking brim. No Wellspring though. The good thing with wagons is, even if the Night Elf's trying to stall, you can pressure the buildings. This is not what you want. So we're pushing out crows to the right hand side. Seems to be away from any nuke and any web. There's so much freedom for the crows. Now one gets caught, but maybe that's too little. Maybe that's too late. The wagon, too aggressive once again. Finally level 5 feed. Saved by the heal scroll. So important, but they keep on falling. You want to clean the air for the crows to dominate the fight as they should. The supply gap is shrinking as KAHO is doing a lot of good decisions in the fight. The question is, will this be enough? Will the heroes take over? Will the Lich take over? Is it the Demon Hunter after all? Invo potion up. The crows are desperately fighting against the worms, but they can't do enough damage. They did a lot. Lich! Oh my god, the Mana Stone right in for the save. Demon Hunter still has a potion though. Is he unstoppable? Naga went through the big Mana Potion already. This was all the Fork Lightning in the world. Another coil. Ridiculous timings by 120. If not for these coils, he's so dead. The Mana Stone. What a game changer. And now it's down to the demon, but the demon is so hurt that the Naga staffs out. There's still so much moon juice. But you gotta rebuild. You gotta rebuild, and how? Very important to have decimated the Fiend numbers though. The Demon Hunter is back. You know how strong it is. More bears. We get back to 50 soon. 120 is banking though. 900 gold. The next mistake decides the game. How does 120 deal with this army if he doesn't have a mana item? It's probably the last coil. It's a game for nerves now. Who has the better decisions? Temple! Temple! Double temple! Is it time for the Necro transition now? Yes, it is! Necro wagon! He got the wagon already. All he needs is some upgrades. We're fine with the X-Lord way of life. Sitting at home, waiting in the base. The Night Elf will not push your base. Necros back on the menu, boys. The Gargs are not the answer. Necros are. Why is this so awesome? Because it's so much. This army of KAHO is a lot of single target with crows, with dryads, with the poison, with the magic damage, with the demon hunter orb attacks. You do a lot of damage to a few targets, like a worm, like a wagon, like an A-bomb, like the fiends also. With fork lightning you hit 3. Necro wagons is like 100 targets. Yes, you can detonate against them, but wisps can also be sniped with Nova. There's not too many dryads. There's no... He could go fairy dragons, but super important by KAHO. He knows this. You only go chimeras if you're up against necro wagons. Chimeras do splash damage. That can be countered quite a bit. It's weird. It's one of these weird dynamics that shouldn't work on paper because there's so many answers to chimeras. Like range attack of the skeletons themselves. Cripple really good. Web is there. Nova, of course. Coil Nova. But it does. It's about positioning. Web is an issue. Well, if you web the chimera, you don't web the crows. If you web the crows, you don't web the chimeras. God damn this. Can you remember the time where we had 9-minute 30 pushes all the freaking time? And now look at this matchup. Did he scout the necros? I'm very sure. He's going fairy dragons. He's going chimeras. He's stacking up on wisps. This is all the answers that you can get in time. He knows, but is it enough? This is a very, very powerful attack by 120. Crows are coming in. There's not much of web. He's saving the web. He's going to do it manually. Wisps are coming in. Here come the detonates. Oh, they did a lot. They did a lot. Like Archimond in the campaign. KAHO. 10 food up. Lich in trouble. Oh my god. He's getting noobed. The save. Holy shit. This was nothing HP. DH. So hurt. DK. So hurt. The worm there. The crows. They're cleaning everything up once again. 45. Couldn't be any closer. Demon Hunter 50%. He can't kill the heroes. There's so much Moonwells left. The demon is safe. Repositioning the fight. One more nuke could end the DK. That could end the life. We have a mana potion once again. Bears falling. Fiends as well. Level 6. Skills aura right away. Pot still intact. Talons on the ground. No Cyclone here. That would be so gigantic. Demon Hunter runs the show. Food lead for 120, but how effective is it really? The statues are basically dead. The wagon is being sniped. Talons on the ground getting nuked, but only for so long. We have magic damage. Is that the right thing? I mean, in the air, they don't have to attack anything. Staff ready on the Naga, close with the fork lightning. And the Chimera is here. We got one web. Main base empty. 33 supply. Insane. 120 can sell the base. KAHO can move the tree over. Encore. This doesn't get any closer. What's gonna decide this series? This game? This match? One misstep, you lose the map. You can eat the acolytes for mana. Demon Hunter will try to burn you. All the necros are dead, right? Yes. Oh, Cripple could have been so good against the Demon Hunter now. But he sold the temple. He's going for the worm. It's the better Cripple, most likely. KAHO's mining in 55 seconds. No chance for 1-0 to get an expansion up. Demon Hunter will just hack and slay it. Also no money. But how do you deal with the crows? Oh, 3 fiends. Okay. 3 fiends and Nova. Guys, who's gonna win this? Where are you at? Team 1-0 or Team KAHO? This is max. 1-0 can't get any more. The Wisps! In the gold mine! Okay. 1-0 is all in. He's so all in. Where do you position the Chimera? When do you attack with the crows? Worm far forward. 1 crow down. Fairy Dragon kinda nice. The damage of the Fork Lightning was sick. 1 fiend down. KAHO this Demon Hunter. 5.6. Metamorph is probably the win. Trying to kite back. Got the call. That was the first mana potion. We still got 3 crows here. The crows might be winning this game. The coil is on cooldown for a second, but now it's ready again. Fiend. Of course, they're all wet. They're all fairy fired. They can't burrow. They're revealed. Worm trying to save himself. To the left-hand side, there's a fiend waiting, but there's a second crow as well. Takes out 1. Statue down. 28-27. But KAHO, he's so healthy. 1-0. He's so hurt. And KAHO's mining. 5.7. What's the Moonwells? Okay. He can heal 1 more time. 1-0 has to break this right here, right now. He doesn't have a wagon. The Fiend can't burrow. It's very fired up. It is Coil, Nova, Worm. But there's Fork Lightning. Last Crow disappeared. New Dryads in, and they can't be Coil Nova. Demon Hunter can. We don't have a staff. Invo Potion transferred. KAHO so sweet. Can you take care of this Worm? You can! And the Fiend at the same time. The statue is empty. We only got the Lich. We only got the DK. We got nothing. KAHO 2-0.
Players' forces are under attack.
Coil to secure the kill. Off we go. 1-0 is always scary. Exactly, Neo. Exactly. So very early Demon Hunter harass, and this is mana burn. So previously we had immolation. Now we're switching things up with your KAHO and we go mana burn. I don't really know the reason for this, but I saw this being extremely effective 2 weeks ago. You pummel that DK and you keep him low. You keep him lower than level 2. For that, you would need to heal 2 last hits here. It's pretty much impossible, I would say. But there's 0 mana. So all 1-0 can work with now is a fast army and ghouls. Man, after what we've seen in the last 2 maps, this feels tame, but I can guarantee you that it will get amplified again. This will accelerate again. 2,000 people watching, by the way. Appreciate you all. Well, most of you. So, if you have mana burn early, you take away all these coils, of course. You do a little bit of extra damage to the DK, but you lose out on a lot of damage against the ghouls. Still gets the kill here. Denied though. Demon Hunter a bit behind enemy lines. He's dancing around these ghouls. He's getting the ghoul kills without the immolation. And now he's getting evasion, right? No, it's late immolation.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay. Not entirely sure I understand the reason behind it, but KAHO is in general too genius for me to comprehend. KAHO steals a lot, but he's taking risks here. Nice wisp detonate. Archers hurt, ghouls in. Now we get the damage done that we needed. We got the boots. We got the staff, so we're safe. And we got the shadow melts here. Body blocked by this archer. Look at the attention to detail. No dust. Oh, damn, the saves. Oh, damn, the saves, KAHO. That's crazy! And now the DK is stuck next to the Naga. Lich is here though. Careful. Gotta slow down the demon. Immediate nuke. Did he save the archers? He did, right? Into the base maybe? Yes. After Moon saving 9 bears, we now save all 3 archers to not give it to the DK's XP account. Wow! It's a really, really impressive gaming right here. Not only Warcraft, just gaming. And KAHO feels confident again. He got the level advantage. He feels he got map control with Demon Hunter, Naga, Archers, as the Archers are all healthy again. He got the damage output. This is why it's important to have the Archers still, because you need the damage. Lich! No way. He's running him down. He's running him down! Lich kill KAHO! Unlike Life, he's not allowing 1-0 to get any momentum. Muddy in the mix as well. He sees an opportunity on the DK. There is no items. There's only a stat. You can Muddy reach again. Doesn't seem like it. Might want to argue if this was worth it to get Muddy, but there's still 5 slows. Now we can lose archers to creeps, I think. Got the Book of the Dead. Destroyers are there soon, so I guess he's gonna pawn it in at the shop. 1-0 still has a rather devastating 50 food push or the worm push, but he arrived on tier 3, doesn't have the boneyard yet. He had to revive the lich, that's expensive. He had to rebuild a couple of ghouls, that's expensive. He didn't actually, he's down to 5. And then he gets precisely level 3. Gets the redo right away when he knows he's hurt. Moonwell mana is a bit of an issue though. Ring of the Archmagi. Naga third. Okay, no worms then. No worms. Classic Fiend Destroyers. Still, KAHO's style works, I think. He's doing something somewhat similar to his Knight of Mirror versus Moon. He slaps down the Ancient of Wind anyway. Letod. Bro, this level of Warcraft is freaking insane, man. What we are watching here, thanks for the raid. What we are watching here is art. Is art. Lich very strong with the hood. And he's a Gatling gun as well. 3-3 against 3-2-2. Grand final of Taigu Cup. Lots of money on the line. 1-0. The undefeatable monster of the past 16 days is struggling 0-2. And KAHO is playing out of his freaking mind. So now it's again all about the army composition. This is a lot simpler now. Because there's no worms in the mix. I don't think he's going wagons with this style. If you don't have worms, I don't think you go wagons. What's the Ancient of Wind for? Talents are really good anti-air against destroyers and worms. Fairy dragons can be good scouts. Fairy fire also. Like, you like to save wisps into burrow, right? But fairy fire ruins this. I very much agree with the Ancient of Wind, by the way, just to stay more flexible. I like this a lot. So, we fight for the red spot, or do we fight? KAHO, do you engage? I don't think you want to give 1-0 two red spots. He's coming in for the burns. The Demon Hunter is suffering. He has evasion now with an item, but otherwise not as overwhelming as he was before. He is rather tanky for a Demon Hunter. Destroyer marching forward, catching some shots. No talents just yet. Fire on the bears. This has been the more or less old school style. The creep is still in there. DK, very odd position here. Demon Hunter also weaving in, weaving out. Gets the heal potion as he anticipated the Nova. Perfect timing. Gets the Destroyer, and when the Destroyers are gone, the bears reign supreme. Usually, this bear can't join the fight only for so long. Lich in a bit of a pickle. The staff is on cooldown. We missed the Demon Hunter left and right, left and right. Has to use the Nova now. One Destroyer still up. This bear behind enemy lines. KAHO is getting torn apart here in this fight. It was a weird fight with odd positioning. But KAHO, after the tech switch by 1-0 out of worms. Wait, did he get the last hit? Bro, what? Yo, you're insane, my dude. Battle drop's pretty good, though. Still, Naga by 1-0 got level 3 as well. And slowly but steady, this nuke is coming together. Coil 2, Nova 2, Fork Lightning 2, and this Demon Hunter is fragile. KAHO has to switch. And I like that 1-0 is doing this halfway into the series. The worms didn't work, the wagons didn't work. Go back to what worked before. That is the standard. You might not have a carbon copy blueprint army composition against this if you're KAHO. And now we'll see how KAHO can adapt on the fly. He's still going crows. There is web already. 1-0 is prepared. And we get a temple. Again, this super stressful Night Elf moment. You gotta scout and you gotta guess. This has to be Banshees, I feel. I'm never sure with 1-0. The crows see it. Second temple. Always necessary. Oh, creep check opportunity. Scroll of the Beast, of course, a very unthankful item. KAHO has to take some risks on this map. He has no TP. Almost caught. If we had Cyclone, We could harass the economy by lifting up the workers to do something.
A player's forces are
Oh,
under attack.
wow. Okay, we are going Necro Wagons and we have the call for the Chimeras again. The wind is already up for Fairy Dragons. It's a very similar situation to Hammerfall, in the late game at least. Just the Necro Wagons are hitting with more tempo. And without worms. And you don't have upgrades for the wagons. You don't have Disease Cloud for the wagons. The Necro play might be a bit of a liability. Because KAHO is calling this correctly. He's scouting for talents to fly in. That's the thing, right? 120 is known for being a non-Banshee player. And then this makes the call easier if it's Banshees or Necros. We're moving across. We got the upgrades. Here we come. 50 push Necro Wagon. We don't have a wagon though. Okay, then it's just prep work. We don't have a Necro either. Why is 120 here? Is it just me or is this very weird? Lich in a bit of trouble. We don't have mana outside of the potion. So maybe he wants to poster up to get shop control, but that's the only thing I can think of, really. Master training, done for the talents. We got Cyclone available now. And a lot more mana for Fairy Fire. And more HP as well, which is great against the nuke. Usually, you can survive a Nova.
A player's forces are under
It's
attack.
incredibly hard to survive Nova and Fork Lightning. Getting the Master Training gives Crows more HP and more mana and the Cyclone spell. So it adds to the sturdiness. I think he wanted KAHO to break upkeep, didn't work. Yeah, that backfired then, man. That backfired. Crows see there's no production. Ay, KAHO. Working on upgrades. 2-1 already. Demon Hunter in for some burns soon, right? Wow, KAHO is playing this like a veteran. Not getting fooled, not getting baited. Majestic Crows, Spy. We get the third attack upgrade
A player's
for
forces
wagons
are
and
under attack.
ghouls and A-bombs. Well, we had so many fights back and forth the past 2 games. I feel like 120 is stepping on the brake big time. But the more time you give KAHO to analyze the situation, the more crisp his answer will be. And he has the crows. He sees production is starting. Bears, chimeras. Double chimeras. One to zero is lumber starved. How are you lumber starved? You can go for a lot of items. KAHO has the heal scroll, super important. What worries me a little bit is the number of wisps, but okay. We're adding to that now already. Third attack upgrade too. 71. Like, if this... The thing about... Like, the good thing about Necro Wagon pushes is if they hit you somewhat by surprise. This is not a surprise, dude. It's like watching the Titanic. You know the end. Just gotta get there. And to be honest, I appreciate that we have Necro Wagon pushes, but do I feel like they are incredibly strong? Not really. They're cool, but are they strong? We get double ferry. 5 chimeras.
A town is under siege.
Does he have disease cloud? No, he had no mana for this. No lumber. 4. I underestimated 1-0 before in this tournament. I'm not doing this again. The push is set up, but the defense is set up as well. Double heal scroll, double invuln. Very powerful heroes. We have Wellspring up, we got Ultra Vision up, we got full Moon Wells. It's all in. No, it's not an all-in. He's expanding behind this. Interesting. Roared up Chimeras. Oh my god. Unholy Frenzy. Unholy Wreckage maybe, but that focus fire backfires a little bit. We go for the heroes mostly. The skeletons. Do something. 1-0 seems a bit overwhelmed with all the units he has to maneuver. Usually undeads don't have that many, and it's terrifying Night Elf army. 1-0 is so busy just keeping the heroes alive. Lich level 4 gets the coil last second. Demon also in trouble. Unholy Frenzy adding a lot onto the Naga, but these Chimeras, man, you can cripple them, but you cannot stop them. It's a wipe. It's an absolute wipe. I see a lot of blue. Dabba-dee, dabba-da. No Naga, no more. No DK. Double kill, triple kill. It's all over. KAHO had way too much time to prepare this defense.